Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Habayta. I am so excited to be joined today by Yoav Alter, who is the founder and CEO of a really cool company called Mates. So, Yoav, thank you so much for joining Habayta today.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
So, we just discussed that we live very close to each other here in Israel, and you live in Renana, near where my parents live. Is that where the company is headquartered?
Yes.
Amazing. So Renana has that whole kind of high tech center, right? Is
hmm
that yeah? So I actually my brother-in-law works there as well. Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about Mates because it's a really cool concept, and I'd love for you to explain it to our users. How companies are leveraging your amazing solution and technology.
Sure. So I have to take you back to 2018. Yeah, as I told you before, we started the meeting. I lived in the US for 3 years, and I remember my son was 7 years old back close near LA, and he said, "Dad, there's an event, a game that I want to go and see." And I couldn't understand what he meant because he said there's a Fortnite game, and there are going to be 20,000 people in the stadium, and for me. I'm a huge sports fan, but for me,
Okay.
when I heard there's a gaming event of 20,000 people watching what? People play PC. Eventually, I took a look and I saw the merch they're selling, the amount of people. It's broadcasted live, millions of people watching it, and I said, okay, there's something here. So I dived into that. And I met with a few GMs of esport teams and learned about the industry. And I decided to build something that eventually WeWork kind of bought me in, as it was a very basic idea before we even launched anything. And unfortunately, WeWork went to what WeWork went through, and
Yes.
then we kind of took different routes.
Okay.
And I've spent few years in e-commerce, and still the esport was kind of lived inside and was burning to do something. And what kind of brought me into this is where I saw many events happening all over the world in esports. There are so many teams, players. It's an entire industry. And in Israel, there's nothing. You can find people who play, they love to play, but it's still very kind of an amateur level. And I didn't understand why, because we're advanced in so
Everything.
many
Correct.
things
Yes.
and I know there are many gamers and many people they play in a high level. So there
Absolutely.
are a few that were able to, sign contracts with few esport teams in Europe and they have to move, but there's no league, there are no tournaments. It's very like I said, amateur level. So I said we need to build something here. And I took a mission that is really close to my heart is to build something here, an infrastructure for esport where we can build real leagues, build real tournaments, ranking, and things that just does not exist in Israel yet. So we started with approaching high-tech companies and building a league between tech companies, but it's not tech only. We're going to also talk to many low tech and other industries as well. So what we do is we do also internal tournaments inside the company as a company activity or company event for
That's
creating the
awesome.
community inside the company and a healthy competition, obviously. And then we're going to take it to the next level where they're going to compete against each other and make it a real sport.
Okay, I'm loving this. So I don't know if you've heard in one of my previous podcasts, I talked a little bit about my son who was an avid Minecraft player. And I have so many things to share based on what you just said. But first of all, one of the, I would say, disadvantages is that he didn't go to 12th grade. Basically, he never went to school because he was playing Minecraft. The advantage is that he made selling virtual goods, okay, and like earning his way through it. And he met so many people from around the world that became his gaming friends. And there was about one in Israel. I remember that. I was like, is anyone here in Israel? There was someone named Noam in Israel that he was playing with. He has no idea where he is, Haifa maybe. So there
Mhm.
definitely were some gamers, but most of them were not in Israel. So totally relate to that. So in terms of the actual game, are they playing games like Minecraft and other major games, or are you creating these games? How does that work?
So the esport industry is actually to take the gaming industry but making competitive.
Yeah.
So it can be almost on any game. It can be sports game, it can be fighting games, it can be simulators, whatever it is. There are tournaments all over the world in so many different games, and so it's pretty
Regular. Could be
Yeah,
like Fortnite, or it could be like a esport game like basketball or something that
can
you
be
could.
basketball, soccer,
Okay.
can be fighting games. It can
That
be
you're playing, excuse my ignorance of this, you're playing online to be in a tournament. It's not sports betting where you're betting on a team. You're
no, no,
actually competing, right? So you're playing the game. So
correct.
maybe
Yes,
explain
you
a
you
little bit
are
about how that works.
you are playing the game, and usually when there's a tournament, you have to register to the tournament in advance.
Okay.
There's a qualification rounds, obviously kind of a knockout stage, and then you come to the real competition when there are, the great players who advance from the qualification round. Usually it starts online and then it goes to the physical event.
So you
That's
actually
where
could be playing physical basketball against other people and other companies.
no,
No,
it's like
it's like
in a
online
PlayStation
in
console
a
or
PlayStation. Got it. Okay.
or a PC.
Okay, got it, got it. So
Um,
you have to
it
learn
can
how
be
to like really play that game. You like introduce the game to the companies. It's kind of like an activity the companies do together, and then there could be tournaments either within the company or against other companies.
the statistics today is that you have over 40% of the people in high tech are considered light gamers. It means they
Yeah,
spend at least an hour a day playing something.
it's
It
so
can
true.
be on
Yes,
their phone, it can be on their
yes,
PC or their
yes.
console. So the magic here is that we don't need to introduce anything. They're already familiar with the games. The only thing we need to decide is which game
Which
is more
game? Yeah, because
relevant
I know
to.
there's so many games. Like my daughter-in-law, my sister love these Wordle. They're like using every day, and they
Mhm.
love these word games. Like I guess it depends on, your skill set, your personality, what you like to play. So you can
Correct.
make in one company different groups of different kinds of games, or is it one company has one game?
No, they can play multiple games, compete
Multiple
in
games.
multiple games. They
Okay.
can build their own esport team that,
Okay.
we build it out of the different games. We try that the games that we select with the companies will be games that people will also enjoy to watch.
Okay.
So usually, especially now because the World Cup is in coming this summer,
Yeah.
so the soccer games are more popular. So
Right.
we're talking to many companies right now to do some events in the summer during the World Cup. It will be, watch party and a FIFA tournament on the
Cool.
PlayStation. So that's
Okay.
kind of the sweet spot right now, and it's a great combination. Usually that's, same people who watch the games, those are the same people who play the game as well. So it's
Right, right,
it goes
right.
together.
Are there a lot of females that are also participating in the esport games?
Yes, yes, there
That's
are.
awesome.
There are many games. There are many great female gamers. And again, I think that, if you build it, they will come. It's not a
Yes,
sentence I came up with. If you remember the movie with
I do remember
uh,
that movie. Yes.
Field of Dreams. Exactly. So,
Yeah,
I strongly believe in that, in this quote. I think
mhm,
that there are many gamers, females, males, they just need the platform.
yeah,
So what we give them is the platform, the ability to be ranked, because right now in Israel there are, one-offs that people come up with a tournament and then you have no idea if there will be a next time. And even if there's a next time, the previous tournaments has no, you haven't been ranked, nobody knows your skills, so it's pretty amateur. So you have to build a platform and
okay.
bring the people.
So I'm trying to understand now. Okay, so first of all, I'm sure everybody's wondering, is there a prize for the winner of this tournament? Whether it's company-based, individual-based, MVP, how does this work?
Exactly. So, an internal tournament, within the inside the company, obviously there's a winner. There are a few prizes. There's a prize for the winner of the tournament. Or
Okay.
in FIFA soccer, for example, there's also a prize for the top scorer. They also get a prize. And when we go to the league between the different companies, the prizes over there are bigger. You can win, from consoles to vouchers to many things that you can benefit from them. The goal is also that our tournaments will be broadcasted live, not only online, also with, sport channels and like it is in the rest of the world. In
Yeah.
Israel, we're still not there, but we'll
We're
be
still
there
not there
soon.
yet, but we're getting there with your help. Okay, got it. So are you providing the prizes or the companies are providing the prizes? How does that work?
So we provide the prizes. There are some companies that are willing to go further with the prizes and make them,
Yeah.
bigger. So, we can work together on that. When we go to the league between companies, then we provide the prizes. Again, it goes with sponsors, and usually depends who's the sponsor for the tournament, and then also it affects the prize.
So you can also bring in sponsors, and that's in terms of a revenue model, is that goes towards the prize, that goes towards your company. what's the business model with that?
Both. Again, it depends on if we do a tournament that is open for everyone, then it helps also to sponsor the event itself. We broke it down into tiers, so depends if you want the top scorer award to be sponsored by whatever company, then it's possible. If you want your logo to be on the background of the game, it's also possible. So
Cool. Okay.
it
That's
can do
really
it can
cool.
do both. So instead of, I think that if you wanna register and compete in a professional level, then obviously there's a fee for you to compete. But if we have sponsors, then the fees will be so low that anyone can join.
Okay, so the model right now is so you can have games that are open. So basically, individuals can come to your website, they can register, they can start ranking, they can potentially win. And then you
Mhm.
have ones that are kind of more closed circuit between companies where you have to be part of the company to participate. Those are more private ones that you're running, correct?
Correct. I think
Okay.
part of the vision is to create a platform for esports in Israel. The
Yeah.
strategy, when you break it down to the day to day, most gamers, and again, we're not aiming on or targeting kids. It's more on
Yeah.
the adult level.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
we're not a birthday party event of playing PlayStation. It's more on a competition and a high level. So the reason why we go to high tech is there are a lot of gamers in the high tech industry, which is
Yeah.
easier. And second, it also can be part of a very cool company event where people come together. What we saw in our events are it's amazing to see that. You see an entry level, I'll give an example, right? A QA engineer
Yeah.
that just joined the company
Okay.
playing against the VP marketing,
In
and they're
another
trash
company.
talking and they're excited and they scream in the room. So it's kind of what we want to get. And when I talk to employee experience teams or HR or VP people. There's so many titles for
Yes.
for people who take care of the employees in the company.
Yes.
They're excited because for them it's kind of a white glove solution where the employees register in our platform, so the HR doesn't need to do anything. They only need to bring the space and the people. The rest is taken care by us.
To in-person events where they could play up until a point and then the top players can come together in person at an event.
So
That's really
for
cool.
me, part of my vision is bring people together. So, we can do online events, but I always try to convince the employee experience teams that let's do it in the office. I know it's
Yeah,
easier and we can say people can stay at home and can play and we'll give them
yeah.
something nice. But when people, they meet, they sit next to each other, they play, the interaction is what we need more. So that's why we push towards that.
It's incredible for it's such a sense of, especially if they have teams, right? So first of all, it's like the competition aspect I think is so crucial for companies. I love when I do, by the way, I'm very big into team building. I have a
Mhm.
virtual company, so we don't do it in person, but my head of people every month comes up with a new kind of game that we do
Mhm.
and we compete and there's a winner and we actually have our own store with like merch. So anyone who wins, gets the tokens for the merch and they could buy what they
Nice.
want. We've been doing this for years. I
Nice.
really think that team building is such an important part, especially when you work in different departments, like you said. For us virtually, we don't see each other. So it also could be very cool to create an event where there are offices across the country and they could actually get together and see each other. That's incredible.
By the way, we are talking to a few companies that are global companies. So
Okay.
one of the things that we're working right now is to create a global tournament where, for example,
Amazing.
company has an office in New York and they have an office in Scotland and also office in Israel. So we can create a tournament in each location and then do when they have their QBR or the
Yes.
sales kickoff, whatever it is, then we can do
You bring it
the grand
together.
final
That's
between those locations.
unbelievable. So what was it like the journey for you to go about and build this technology? Because is it on PlayStation? Is it on a computer? How is the technology working?
So the platform is online and it's not on
Okay.
the console itself. It's
Okay. So that means you don't need a
uh
PlayStation. Yeah.
no. The game itself can be on the PC, can be on the PlayStation, it can be anywhere.
Okay.
And then we can take the results and take, and do live updates on what's happening in the game. And what kind of took me into this was, especially with the AI and the vibe coding that was when it started, I felt like, that we can do it, that will be
Yeah.
easier than it was before. And we were able to do that. So I'm happy to have a platform that is working and functioning
For sure.
and I think that, when I think about how it started for me as an entrepreneur, and again, I forgot to mention that I'm also a lecturer at the Reichman University where I teach,
Oh, wow.
uh,
Okay.
yeah,
What
business entrepreneurship.
I might have
So
had my nephew in your class. How long have you been teaching?
this is my second year. I'm doing
Okay, no,
for
you
yeah.
graduated already. Okay, that's awesome.
So what I did is what I teach is sometimes you just have to start. So what I did at first is I just build a business plan for what I think I want to do, and then I just bought the consoles. So when I have the consoles and I have the entire setup, now the only thing I need is to get customers on board, and that's how it started.
Wow, so the technology itself is basically the consoles. You're using existing games, but you also created like a leaderboard, etc.,
Yes,
right? So
we
like
build, like, for
right.
example, if we start a tournament at any random company, then people register, the platform automatically creates the bracket of who plays against who and when, and then we manage it.
That's unbelievable. Wow, was that a big to do to build that? How long was that a lot of development work for you?
Today with the vibe coding, it takes some time. Obviously, I think first you need to know what you want. That's before you even start, and it's good for every initiative we start.
Absolutely. You have to design it. Yep.
So AI is great, but if you don't give exact direction and you know what you want, then you're not going to get what you want. So
To know also how to fix it. Yes.
exactly. So I spent some time on defining and clarifying what exactly needs to be there. Once I did the development process today, I'm not going to say it's easy because always there are
Yeah.
challenges, but it's way easier than what it was before. Way cheaper than what it was before. You don't need those bigger teams. You don't need those
Absolutely.
3 month
Absolutely.
cycles.
Yeah.
Things are moving fast. I
Sure.
can go to
For
sleep
sure.
and wake up in the morning with new features. So that's
It's amazing.
exciting.
As long as it doesn't break, it's amazing, right?
It breaks. It's part of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Part of the game. Yeah. Do you ever have this complaint where, heads of HR are like, people are not working because they're all playing? So how do you deal? I'm
You,
sure you hear that a lot. So how do you deal with that?
it's kind of. I'm happy you brought it up because I'm having those discussions with HR people, and it's amazing to see some companies' culture is to allow people to, let's say, play during the day, and
Mhm.
for some companies, it's kind of a big no-no of like, no, if you
Right.
want to do a tournament, that's
Exactly.
going to be in the evening time. And
Exactly.
for us, it's fine. Whatever the culture is, we will fit. But yeah, there are so many different cultures and different approach of when they should play and how they should play. To be honest, when I was working in companies and being employed, I never stepped into the gaming rooms because I always felt like, would it be weird during the day when I'm getting paid to
I
play?
always wonder about that. Yeah, like you look at the Google campus, right? So my friend's son just started working there, and she told me that they have nap rooms, right? They have these rooms where you can go in and take a nap. But then I wonder, how do they monitor that? First of all, they know that you're not, everything's open, so they know you're not at your desk. The
Hmm.
pressure, like it's nice to offer, but the pressure of not using it is probably very high and what you need to produce at the end of the day. But at the same time, they have ping pong, they have rollerblading, like everything is available to you. And I think their concept is we would rather you stay on the campus than
Hmm.
leave and do these things. So, anyway, like you're saying, these are gamers, they're gaming. You might as well
Right.
have them game here and work towards team building and all the other benefits that they get by working within the company together. The competitive, spirit, the team building aspect, the getting to know people that you wouldn't otherwise know in other departments. There's so many, benefits to doing it, knowing that, like you said, the majority of these people are gaming anyway, right?
Right.
On company
Right.
time, right?
And
Sure.
they're very competitive, most of
Yes.
them.
Yes.
And I think
Amazing.
it's also an opportunity for those people who doesn't get to be the heroes in the company.
Yeah.
So they
Yes.
can be on the
Exactly.
dev team or product team
I
and nobody
love that.
knows about them. And
I
suddenly,
love
they're
that.
the heroes who won the tournament
Yes.
because that's what they do after work and nobody cares about that usually. So now they become, the story of the day in the office. So
It's
I love
so
that when
good.
I see that.
I
Yeah.
love that too. We also have that, we have a data team that's kind of behind the scenes in the company. They're not the front end, customer facing team. And I love when they win the competitions.
Hmm.
It's such a great feeling and sharing that with them as well and them kind of participating and being a part of it and connecting with the front facing team. So I definitely can relate to that. I think it's unbelievable. So how many players do you have right now?
So on the platform, there are hundreds of players already registered, but still, what we're focusing right now is on companies and do those
Okay.
internal events, and then we kind of grow our platform. We're not ready yet to create those big tournaments of anyone can register, but I guess we'll
I'm
be
waiting for
there.
that. I'm waiting for that.
We'll be there soon.
Any way you would also add poker, or is that not legal?
To be honest, nobody asked that, so I
I'm
wonder.
very
Um,
surprised how many poker players there are in high tech.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
It's one of the
I
biggest
think that
games that they're playing.
I think that there are poker nights that the company
Yes.
have.
Yes.
I don't think it's something new to play it in a console or PC. Obviously, definitely possible. I
Yeah,
think
because it's
gambling
not legal
is
gambling.
not allowed, but playing poker, if
Yeah, it's
it's
just without, with
right,
pretendship. Yeah, for
yeah, that
points. I love it.
shouldn't be a
Yeah, well,
problem.
let me
Yeah,
know when I have a few poker players that are serious in my family, so let me know when that's ready.
for
We will
sure.
be joining. And Yoav, it was so nice to meet you. I love that you're bringing this to Israel and to the culture here, right? And creating these events and these team buildings and the ability for people to get to know each other. And if any company would like to be in touch with you about this, I'm going to post your information with this podcast so they can reach out to you directly. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for joining Habayta.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really a real pleasure.
So fun.
All right.
Oh,